The board will now come to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Schweitzer. Alderman Oldenburg. Alderman Cone. Alderman Narayan. Alderman Devoti. Alderwoman Velazquez. Alderwoman Sanye. Alderman Browning. Alderwoman Clark Hubbard. Alderwoman Keys. Alderwoman Tyus.
Present.
Alderwoman Boyd.
Aye.
Alderman Aldridge. President Green.
Present.
Alderman Oldenburg. Alderman Devoti. Alderwoman Sanye. 11 present. You have quorum.
A quorum being present, we will be led in opening reflection by Dr. Frederick Eccles, an observation of Men's Health Month.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, President Green, members of the Board of Aldermen, and beloved community members. Is it an honor and a solemn responsibility to stand before you today, not just as a public health advocate, but as a son of this nation, a black man raised in the South, and a proud resident of St. Louis, deeply invested in health and humanity in our community. This moment means more than I can fully express because of this resolution. The city's formal recognition of Men's Health Month is about more than policy. It is about people. It is about lives. Men's health too often lives in the shadows. We don't talk about it enough. We don't name the quiet battles that many of our brothers, fathers, uncles, sons, and partners face. We don't ask often enough how the men in our lives are really doing. And when we do, the silence can be deafening. In the United States, men die younger than women by nearly 6 years. Black men in particular experience some of the highest rates of chronic disease, untreated mental illness, and early death. These aren't just numbers. They're the lived realities of our brothers, fathers, uncles, sons, partners, and neighbors, men whose suffering is compounded by cultural norms that discourage vulnerability, discourage help-seeking, and demand stoicism at the expense of wellness. Behind every one of those statistics is a mother who mourns, a child who wonders why daddy is no longer there, a community left to carry the weight of another life lost too soon. And yet men are taught to stay strong, to keep going, to never show pain, even when that pain, that silence is killing them. This resolution, which I was honored to request, sends a different message, that in St. Louis, our men matter, that their health matters, that their pain matters, that their well-being is not just personal, it's a public good. It affects our families, our economy, our public safety, and the soul of our city. And let me say this clearly. Men's health is not just a men's issue. It's a community issue. When men thrive, families are stronger, schools are stable, workplaces are more productive, neighborhoods are safer, and generations are lifted. But we cannot talk about men's health without talking about equity. We must recognize that the conditions that shape a man's life, his housing, his job security, his education, his access to care, are also the conditions that shape his health. These are the social determinants of health, and they are the root causes of suffering and premature death for too many in our city. We must also not forget where we are today, as a city navigating the path of disaster recovery. We've seen neighborhoods hit hard by natural disasters, by storms, flooding, and hardship. And as we rebuild homes and streets, we must also rebuild trust, restore wellness, and renew hope. If our recovery efforts don't include our men, especially those who are often last in line, they will never be complete. So to our city's leaders, many of you here today, let this resolution be more than a proclamation. Let it be a promise to see our men, to support them, and to create systems that allow them to live long, healthy, purpose-driven lives. To our businesses, let us invest not in profits, but in people. Create spaces where men feel safe to ask for help, to get the care they need, to bring their full selves to work and life. And to our citizens, check on the men around you. Love them enough to ask the hard questions. Support them when they're struggling. Celebrate them when they're thriving. This resolution is a moment of recognition, but it must also be a moment of reckoning. A call to confront the quiet crisis of men's health with bold leadership, deep compassion, and collective action. On behalf of every man who has ever felt invisible, unheard, or forgotten, I thank you for your courage to see this issue, for your commitment to change, and for your belief that the health of our men is the health of our city. Thank you.
We will dispense with line item number 4, any introduction of honored guests. Any introduction of honored guests. Alderman from the 14th.
Thank you, Madam President, members of the board. As my honored guest today, I want to have Dr. Eccles. I want to appreciate you for giving the reflection and talking about the importance of men health and all the great work that you have been doing for the city of St. Louis and our region for a very long time. As well as I want to have Mr. Granberry, who is our new legislative assistant, as my special guest. He is going to be part of an amazing team here at the Board of Aldermen with all our other amazing legislative assistants, our clerks, and every other staff that we have. So just welcome to the team. Thank you, Doc. And if we could make them both feel welcome, I would appreciate it. That means clap again.
Further introduction of honored guests. Alderman from the 3rd.
Thank you, Madam President. I too would like to welcome Mr. Granberry, our new Executive Secretary to the Board of Aldermen. There is an open legislative assistant position if you'd like to apply for it. I am currently accepting applications for the 3rd Ward. I would also like to have as my honored guest someone who's very near and dear to me, a friend for over 25 years. We were Army battle buddies in basic training and fast friends and friends for many, 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 many years. Major Deb Holland, retired U.S. Army.
Any further introduction of honored guests? Seeing none, we will dispense with line item 6, report of city officials.
We have none.
And we will dispense with line items 7 through 11, first reading of board bills.
We have none.
We can dispense with line item 12, reference to committee of board bills.
We have none.
We can dispense with line item 13, second reading report of standing committees.
We have none.
Can dispense with line item 14, report of special committees.
We have none.
We can dispense with line item 15, board bills for perfection consent.
We have none.
We can dispense with line item 16, board bills for perfection.
We have none.
We can dispense with line item 16, report of engrossment.
Board Bill 28, 29, and 31 as amended on the floor.
Third reading and final passage of board bills consent.
Board Bill 28, 29, and 31 as amended on the floor.
Alderwoman from the 10th, you are recognized on the motion to adopt the third reading and final passage of board bills on the consent calendar.
Thank you, Madam President, members of the board. I move that we adopt the third reading and final passage of board bills consent calendar.
It's been moved by the Alderwoman from the 10th, seconded by the Alderman from the 14th, that we adopt the third reading and final passage of board bills on the consent calendar. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Schweitzer. Alderman Oldenburg.
Aye.
Alderman Cone,
Aye.
Alderman Narayan, Alderman Devoti, Alderwoman Velazquez, Alderwoman Sanye, Alderman Browning, Alderwoman Clark Hubbard, Alderwoman Keys, Alderwoman Tyus,
Aye.
Alderwoman Boyd,
Aye.
Alderman Aldridge, President Green,
Aye.
Alderman Devoti. 13 aye votes.
By your vote, you sustain the motion from the Alderwoman from the 10th to third read and finally pass the aforementioned bills. Third reading and final passage of board bills.
We have none.
Can dispense with line item 20. Reported the finally passed and signed by the President.
Board Bill 28, 29, 31 as amended on the floor.
All other business being suspended, the President shall in open session affix her signature hereto to the end that these may become law. First reading resolutions in reference to committee.
We have none.
Can dispense with line item 22. Second reading resolutions, committee reports and adoption.
We have none.
Can dispense with line item 23. Courtesy resolutions.
We have none.
Can dispense with line item 24. Miscellaneous and unfinished business.
We have none.
We can dispense with line item 25. Announcements.
Thursday, June 19th, 2025, the office will be closed in honor of Juneteenth. That's the extent of the announcements.
Any further announcements? Alderman from the 14th.
Thank you, Madam President, members of the board. This Thursday is Juneteenth, so I want to wish everybody a happy Juneteenth, as well as we'll be having a Juneteenth celebration down at the House of Soul June 19th from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. So please come on out. It's Nicole, who's the owner of House of Soul, do a wonderful job of always putting on an excellent Juneteenth. We block off Washington Street. There'll be food, there'll be drinks, there'll be adult drinks, and it'll just be a good time to celebrate Black excellence. But of course, everybody is invited, as well as at 9 o'clock, right outside of Soldier Memorial, myself, President Green, as well as Mayor Spencer will be revealing Tuskegee Way honorary street sign that this Board of Aldermen passed, so everybody is welcome to also come and celebrate that as we do that on Juneteenth as well. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further announcements? Alderwoman from the 11th.
Thank you, Madam President, members of the board. First of all, I'm so happy that this is a very short meeting, so thank you for that. But on each of your desks, you should find your annual bottle in celebration of Annual Bourbon Day. Please drink responsibly. Take your bottle of libation home and maybe mix it with some other liquids and enjoy at your leisure. Enjoy your day. Thank you.
Alderman from the 3rd.
Thank you, Madam President. I had to return my bottle. Unfortunately, the Alderwoman from the elevated 11th Ward now knows my tolerance for those types of beverages mostly include wine. But on a more serious note, I would like to make an announcement that we're having a Transportation and Commerce Committee hearing Tuesday at 9 a.m. If the clerk could please make note of that on the calendar.
Alderman from the 9th.
Thank you. I just want to announce that we do have a Public Infrastructure and Utilities Committee meeting tomorrow, June 18th at 3:30 p.m. in the Kennedy hearing.
Alderwoman from the 6th.
Thank you, Madam President. Not quite an announcement. I would like to announce our newest executive secretary's first day. Welcome, Daryl Granberry, and we are excited, so thank you.
Any further announcements? Alderwoman from the 7th.
Thank you, Madam President, members of the board. I want to announce the town hall on public safety, but specifically state takeover of SLMPD for this Wednesday. At 5:30, between 5:30 and 6, we'll be doing traffic amnesty, and the town hall will begin at 6. And also President Green, the Director of Policy from the Mayor's Office, State Representative Elizabeth Fuchs, and Chief Tracy Roberts will be there. And Jamala Rogers will be coming as well to talk about a lawsuit that she filed. And then I also wanted to announce that this Saturday, there is the 3rd annual community health event at Compton Hill MB Church. So they will have some resources available, specifically thinking of some of the families that are gearing up to go back to, getting ready to go back to school and things like that. So that will be at the Compton Hill Church this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Any further announcements? Seeing none, Alderwoman from the 10th, you're recognized on the motion to excuse.
Thank you, Madam President, members of the board. I move that we excuse the alderman from the 5th for necessary absence.
It's been moved by the Alderwoman from the 10th, seconded by the Alderwoman from the 11th, that we excuse the Alderperson from the 5th for necessary absence. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. Motion carries. Alderwoman from the 10th, you are recognized on the motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Madam President, members of the board. I move that we adjourn until Tuesday, June 27th, 2025, in the Board of Aldermen chambers at 10 a.m. for a special session.
It's been moved by the Alderwoman from the 10th, seconded by the Alderwoman from the 11th, that we adjourn until Tuesday, June 27, 2025, in the Board of Aldermen chambers at 10 a.m. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? No. Motion carries. We are adjourned. Oh, it's a Friday, not a Tuesday. Well, that was a... Oh, well.